What's happening, everybody? Driving to Lifetime Fitness, getting ready to work with a number of clients there. Love that gym. It's a great place. If you have one in your area, check it out. Today I want to chat about how to not starve, how to not lose muscle on a GLP-1. You got to have a plan. Got to have a plan. I see way too much information out there on social media, the news, about the side effects of these things. Again, I think it's pretty simple, really. Don't go beyond a standard dose. Even a standard dose for me is way too much. If I consumed a standard dose of these medical drugs, I wouldn't eat either. I'd starve. I'd lose my hair. Oh, that's right. I don't have any hair. But I know a lot of people say they lost their hair. There's thoughts of losing hair. And by the way, that happens on all weight loss programs where you have a significant caloric restriction or any major stress to the body. You know, the body perceives change as stress. Some stress is good, some stress is bad. But I don't doubt people are losing their hair, but people lose their hair on keto. People lose their hair on intermittent fasting. People lose their hair on very low-calorie diets. It's kind of normal. People lose their hair all the time for different reasons. Lots of scenarios. What's up, Daniel? Hey, buddy, I actually wrote this. I was going to tag you on this, by the way. You know, you're a smart guy. You know, there's lots of negative press, right, on Ozempic and Mounjaro and things like that. And again, I know this is going to go really badly. So just so you know, there's going to be more people that have long-term problems than good because people need us, Daniel. This is a message really for you. So I'm super happy you're here right now. I've been meaning to chat with you. So, you know, it wasn't until I was talking to one of my mentors about the benefits of these drugs that I looked into them a little more, right? There's always been a high amount of negative press because that's kind of what we do, right? We see negative things more likely than we're going to see positive things. There's not a whole lot of positives on the news, right? And I'm a total anti-med guy. I'm an anti-Western medicine guy for the most part. So for me to be doing what I'm doing right now and endorsing these is even, you know, mind-blowing to me. So I understand why some people are like, why would you ever condone these things? Aren't you a lifestyle guy? I am. But I have so many clients. I've worked with over 100,000 people over the last 35 years. And even though I'm doing some pretty state-of-the-art testing now, we can really dive deep in their microbiome. We can do DNA tests. I can look at you know, we can look at food sensitivities. We can do mold testing. We can do all these tests. I can get some great information on you, you know. But the problem is people. People are not robots. I don't really care about food, right? I'm unattached to food for the most part. I like chocolate. Don't get me wrong. I like things, but I also am more interested in feeling better. And I'm really concerned about the future. You know, I'm really concerned about the future, which, again, I took a small microdose of this stuff because I'm really concerned about the future. I know that if I was to consume too much of this stuff, it's not going to go well, right? I need food. You need food, right? So this stuff just gives you an edge, right? There's a lot of folks out there with addictions. You know, a lot of people drink too much. Like, I can tell you not to drink. You're going to find some studies that show alcohol is good for you, right? But, you know, it's like you need to just feel full, right? You need to feel satisfied. You need to feel happy with your life. People are drinking, people are eating because they're not happy with their lives. So is a solid nutrition lifestyle foundation an important piece? It's the most important piece. Should people be working out? Yes, but they're not. Right? Only 30% of the population in the U.S. works out or so. 94% of the population has a metabolic disorder. You know, people are unhappy, unfit, unsatisfied, overwhelmed. They don't know what to do, how to do it, right? So Again, we can talk about all kinds of nutrition strategies, but people aren't sticking with them, right? People don't even understand them. They're uneducated about their own bodies, and we even have all these tests. So people need you and me, Daniel. Daniel's a coach. He's a smart guy. Works with people like I do. People need to be coached on a GLP-1 or not. Now, if we are looking to not lose muscle mass, if we are looking to not starve, not lose our hair, not have pancreatitis and every other thing that can happen and will happen. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, because people are not going to listen to me. People are not going to listen to Daniel and I, but I'm just hoping we can change a couple people's perspective on things. We need to eat. Wow. Amazing concept, right? We need to eat, guys. We need to eat. We need to have a plan. All right. We need to eat protein, fiber, and fat. It's really not rocket science. And again, I know people say, well, I don't like protein. I don't like vegetables. Eat it anyway. Be a freaking adult, right? Otherwise, you're not going to do well. It's just what it is. We got to find something. We got to keep trying. All right. Maybe you just don't like your own cooking. I'll help you find a cook. Maybe you don't like, have the time to do dishes. I can help. Let's do paper plates. This is where the coaching comes in. You'll be surprised that small things make a difference. Small little lifestyle habits. But we need to eat. We need to eat every 3 to 4 hours. We need to eat, I'm just going to throw a number out, a minimum of 1,200 calories, guys. If you're on 500 calories on a GLP-1 or not, you're going to lose weight, yes. But when we dial deeper, if you're working with me, I'm going to have you monitor your muscle mass. I'm going to have you monitor your fat. I actually don't care what your weight is. I want to see you lose fat and maintain muscle for the most part. Some people could lose a little bit of muscle mass. If you're 200 pounds or so and you have 50% body fat, you can lose a little muscle, right? So it just depends. But this is where working with a qualified coach can really help. Monitor your body fat. It's $20 on Amazon for a Renfo scale. $20 and it's fine. I have a $1,000 scale, a $2,000 scale. I use a Renfo body fat smart scale, and I won't work with my clients unless they give me those numbers, especially if you're on a GLP-1, okay? So how to not lose muscle and not starve? Eat every 3 to 4 hours. Never go hungry, and ideally never go full. I've been talking about this forever. Number 2 is let's make sure we get a good amount of protein, at least 30 grams per meal times 3. That's 90 grams minimum. I'm just giving base general concepts. 90 grams minimum. Let's get some fiber. How about some chia seeds? Maybe that's got almost almost your whole day's recommended servings. Chia seeds, 3 tablespoons of chia seeds, like 15 grams or so of fiber. All right. Let's look for other fiber sources like lentils and things, but we need to feel satisfied. Don't use Metamucil and crap like that. Let's think about a good probiotic, a good electrolyte, and a good magnesium citrate, especially if you're on a GLP-1. But back to protein. You may not be digesting your protein. I hate whey protein. It is so difficult to digest. That's not a good protein source for most people. And for most people over 40, you're going to need hydrochloric acid, HCl. Look into it, but let's chat about it. It can be a game changer. There's a lot of folks out there that just can't digest it. Again, whether you're on a GLP-1, we need to break down our protein, which there's even something more basic. It's called chewing. Chew your food and eat slowly to break down your protein. And then last thing is don't overcook your protein. All right. So a couple little tips there. Final thing I'm going to share is just strength training. We need to do about 8 to 12 reps or so of a challenging weight. We don't want to just go into that weight. We want to warm up and so on. But again, work with a qualified trainer to help you. You might need to do some isolation type work, like a machine training program to help with building more isolated muscle mass. I love my functional training, but it doesn't build as much muscle as more isolated movement. So a couple things there. Hopefully that helps. I'm sure you'll have some questions. Comment below. Daniel was here. He's an amazing coach in the San Francisco Bay Area. I totally trust him with training clients. And then, if you have questions about the nutrition piece, GLPs, peptides, let's chat some more. Oh, I just forgot something. you might want to consider looking into Samoralin and Tesamoralin to gain muscle. That's what I'm doing right now. I forgot. That was one of my main messages too. A lot of people can get great benefits from Samoralin or Tesamoralin. It actually makes you a little hungrier. Whoa. It actually makes you a little hungrier, guys. So you will counterbalance the lack of eating with some more eating. Okay. Talk